Yeah, hey everyone, welcome to Emsley Lodge for another week. Only had a few runners through the week, but they all raced really, really well. A couple of nice chances, sort of just narrowly got beaten down at Hamilton through the week. I thought they both raced really well. Even Chestorius having his first race start, he got a long way back and sort of really got to the line nice and strong. So they were all good. No doubt all three of those horses that we took, which is La Spezia, Chestorius and Pantera Nera, will all be sort of very close around about the mark their next start. Okay, now runners this week, heading off down to Terang today with young Hostess. Look, she's in great nick, went really well first up. We had her in a $250,000 race on Saturday and it was just way too hard and she drew barrier 16 or something, so that was always going to be too hard for her. So we'll head off to Terang today with her instead, where she's drawn a lovely gate. She should be able to land 4th or 5th and have the absolute run of the race, and if all the things pan out pretty well for her, she should be right in the finish there. It's going pretty good, that little filly, for her, so she'll run right up to her best form, and her best form is good enough to be really competitive there, so expect her to go well today. Okay, Saturday we'll send in a couple of different directions. Hums won really well over the 1100 last start, coming back to the 1000 metres at Mornington. He's won at Mornington before. In fact, that was his only Metropolitan win, was at Mornington, so he gets another crack at that. Speed is right out of gate 1 and we've drawn 2, so geez, hopefully he can just sort of fly the lids and the horse in 1 kick up and lead him up, and we can just drop at its girth and sort of get a fairly easy time of it. Then we'll get up on the outside of it and put a bit of pressure on it and see how we go. The rest of the speed in the race is out wide, so whether they, I don't know, if you draw 15 or something at Mornington and press on, that's a bit of death. So we'll just see how that race pans out. You know, that's his grade now. That's sort of 78, sort of Saturday grade. That's sort of where he's at. We're not really sure whether we might press on and maybe try him further over the 11 and 1200 a little bit later this prep. Where else do we go? Avoca. Head off to Avoca with a couple of really interesting horses. Filly called Punk Princess has had no luck her first 2 runs for us. Where go to Avoca, the 1300 should suit her. Work was great this week. It's drawn a gate, just should just be right there, and I expect her to be very hard to beat this week. I think the track at Avoca will suit us. Everything should pan out beautifully for her. Just has to get out of the gates, which she should do, no worries at all. And if she lands in the first 2 or 3, she'll take a power beating there, so I expect her to go really well. Another horse having his first run for us, a horse called Foxy Star. He's been sort of struggling for form. He's had a couple of trainers. He's just been struggling for form. They've been trying him over a little bit further distance. So I just want to bring him back and just see how he'd go. I actually ran against one of my horses, Aloof, a little while ago, and he got a mile back and really got to the line nice and strong. So I just think he's more of a sort of sit off and run home horse rather than sit outside the leader horse. Probably my only query with this, he's drawn barrier 1. So for a horse that I want to sort of let get back, we're going to need a lot of luck from barrier 1. I could just sort of see him getting held up behind some slowies getting to the corner. So hopefully there's a heap of pressure and they fan out a little bit and he can sort of get a split at the top of the straight, and no doubt he'll be running home nice and strong, but seems to be going okay. Always like these sort of older horses. They sort of tend to come to the farm here, and it's a completely different environment that they've ever been trained out of, and they can sometimes jump out of the ground, but he seems to be going okay. Taking all the gear off him and just see how he goes first up for us. But that's Foxy Star and Punk Princess at Avoca on Saturday. Okay, jump in the truck on Tuesday and we'll head up to Benalla. A little first starter called Pink and Black, little filly that we bought, little Toronado filly we bought as a weanling. She's taken a long time to sort of mature up, but we've given her plenty of time. She trialled up lovely the other day, and she's ready to go the races. The 1100 metres first up should be perfect. Benalla track should be perfect. She's got a lot of speed, so I expect her to sort of land in the first couple, and I expect a really forward-going run from her first start. Fortune Rose, we'll head off to Benalla with her. She's been really competitive in this grade, and so I'm going to probably chase a little bit of prize money. I probably could have gone to maybe a weaker race with her, but the prize money's significantly less. So I think while she's still available to run in this sort of grade, I think we'll probably keep her in this grade and chase sort of the better prize money. So, you know, she's like, she'll just bounce and put herself in the race, and she just found one a little bit better than the other day, so hopefully she can be around about the mark again there. Deploy and Destroy. Now, he's had a couple of runs in this time in, showing that he's sort of wanting a little bit of a trip, so I'm going to step him up to the mile. Nice big long run from the back straight at Benalla, which should give him a chance to sort of jump out and find a really good spot and actually posse up a little bit better. He's just been landing too far back in the run and giving him a bit too much start, and he's only just been travelling over those shorter distances, so I expect him in a mile race to posse up midfield. If he's sort of anywhere on the corner, he's going to really run home very strong. He's interesting since his last first run, he's come right on in his coat, and he actually looks a bit better, and he's got a bit of a prance about him at the stables here. So I think the racing's really improving him. His first run also, I was just a bit worried that the horse was a little bit fat, where I think that's just coming now with 2 sort of solid runs under his belt. His fitness seems a lot better, and just the way he's getting around the stables, I really like it. So he's going to continue to keep training on this preparation, and I think he'll give him a fair shake on Tuesday at Benalla. Okay, Sandown Wednesday. A couple of options for Evasion. There's a 2100 metre 64, or there's a 2100 metre fillies and mares 70. So I'll put her in both those races, and I'll just pick the best option for her. She went, she was okay the other day. It wasn't beaten far. It was beaten less than 2 lengths. Second up over 2100. She's had that run under her belt now, and it was coming off a fairly slow tempo. So hopefully she can just sort of run that sort of length or 2 better. If she does that, well, she's going to be right in the finish. So I'll just pick which race we go to, probably leaning towards the fillies and mares race. She gets down sort of fairly low on the weights, and sort of they've only been smallish fields, so if that looks the option, that'll probably be very, very similar race to what she ran in last start.
G'day guys, welcome to Around the Stables. A bit unlucky last week with Pantera Nero. I think we got knocked off by the 60 to 1 shot, but I thought he went great. He chased hard and he looks like he's in for a good prep. This week's horse is Punk Princess. On Saturday, we certainly won't be riding it how she has been ridden the last couple of starts, and that's sort of back in the field and getting home really strongly, running nice races. But on these tight little tracks, you need to be on speed, and that's certainly the way we'll ride her on Saturday. She'll kick out at Avoca. You need to be in the first couple at Avoca to be around the finish, and she certainly will be that. She's ran third of the last 2 starts. I'm tipping this will be no stronger. I think Mick Price's horse will accept. If it accepts, it'll be hard to beat, but I'd imagine we'll be in front of it on the corner, and hopefully she's a little bit too hard to run down. But yeah, she's running great. She looks great. There'll be no excuses on Saturday with her.
Yeah, that's it for another week at Emsley Lodge. Thanks for watching. We've let everybody follow the whole sort of trials and tribulations of Lorenzetti from the massive rehab that he's taken. Unfortunately, his last start at Moonee Valley, he re-injured his tendon. So we only actually got the 2 runs out of him. Both of them were great runs, but unfortunately, he's actually re-injured his tendon. When we scanned it, the old injury, we could hardly even find it, but he's injured it a little bit low, so there's obviously a weakness in that tendon of his. So poor old bugger, he's back in the paddock, and he's back for the long rehab again. So really disappointed. Everybody here at the stables and the owners are really disappointed, but it's one of those things, not much we can do about it. What else we got? Interesting, the Aquanita set up. So they've asked for the trainers to hand back their prize money that they earned. I think there was 70-something horses. Have fun getting that back. I think they were actually employees of Aquanita Racing. So whether Aquanita kept the money or the trainers got the money, I'm not really sure. But geez, have fun getting prize money out of a trainer 10 years ago. But anyway. What else? That's about all, I think. A couple of really good chances this week at the races. A couple of nice sort of horses. Even Janet's little girl's going around on Tuesday, a little filly called Pink and Black. So good luck to Janet there. Hopefully she goes really well. I might get a special dinner that night if it puts its head in front. Till next week. See you later.
Kick it off with Crafty.
He'll probably do a little bit of work tomorrow morning. If he works up okay, we'll you want to do that again?
Yeah. My tips are on Saturday at Randwick, race 4. No, see? Now I've got to start again because it's race 5.